there, Laurie. How's it going? And in this book, things you guys can implement to help you guys get more pets to find you online. And the reason I'm doing this is because I know veterinarians are way too busy spending their and as a former vet, I know how busy veterinarians get. They just don't have the time. So I want to help out in any way that I can. So if you like, then worries. So let's hop on it. So first thing I like to cover is and look at on the so with content on the page, the ideal thing is to make sure that there's enough content on the website, right? And to be more specific, sure that what are known as keywords properly throughout the website, and if keywords are not in all Google, when they scan your site, they're not going to be sure about what you do and who to. So to give you an idea, everything that you see highlighted, icons, look, this is what Google looks at to see your site, and mess out a ton of pet owners, by not having placed, right? Placed product. And just to give you guys an idea, you guys are sitting at about 902 words at the moment. Not terrible. And one of your top competitors in the area, these guys are looking at about a little over 1,000, a little over 1,000 words, which is very beatable, by the way. You guys can totally dominate in this area. And so just to give you an idea of what's the sweet spot of how much content you have. So the sweet spot of 100 words on a great way of going about how much content. So heading on over here to Everest, we're just coming over here to things. One of the things you wanted to take a look at words. You guys are words at the moment, and you guys are currently ranking for 48 keywords under your belt, and it's bringing you in a traffic of 146 visitors to your site per, right? Sorry, not per month. And just going to take a look at glance at what some keywords are. All right. And then over here, let's see, bird animal. So, animal care. This one's okay. This one's okay. So, just to give you a little bit of a tip on keywords. So, don't just want any keywords placed on your website. Keywords with your business name are okay because it helps with branding purposes. So, they're fine. It's not ideal to heavily rely on keywords only because not everyone knows your business name. So, you want to be able to have words that are good when that's moving in or someone that is about your name, your business name. So using keywords like these two are a good example of things to use. And it's going to give you an idea. One of your top 10 guys in the area. And let me see. So these guys are ranked for 12 keywords underneath their belt for visitors to. So let's take a look. Words are a little bit of a similar saying. So again, with these keywords, I just wanted to throw like surface things because I wanted to make this video as short as I possibly can. Just to give you a better idea, I'm just gonna over here we have okay. All right, that's the keyword, and then we're just gonna cover this entire page. This right here is gonna go into the second thing I wanted to cover, and this is listing, right? And as you can see to your left, you have your business name, address, and phone number. This is what Google uses to give relevance to a business. This idea, these spots, this is ideal because this is where the higher you are, the more clicks you get. So in order to get, you want to have more citations, right? Which is just your business name, address, and phone number. And to put it simply, I just want to have your So that's and there to allow you to see what citations your competitors have, and then you just go grab those, but want you don't want to just pull. You want to add like 100 of those to knock out your. And then the last thing we're going to just cover is our backlinks, which is you know, basically just adding more power to your website. And and again, in these area, you want to be, you know, and the reason why is because and that's where people click. The higher you are, the more you get. And in order to get up here, you want to have what is known as authority. And authority is back down to backlink. And a backlink is when another website. So think of it basically like a vote of confidence that blog gives to you when they link people to your website, right? So that's kind of how it works. People look at that and then they will give you a boost, but not all back. So you want to have towards animal care. So, blogs, articles, those things like that, talking about dog care, best flea tick prevention to get and where to get them from, stuff like that is a lot more effective to linking back to you guys versus say, right? Kind of how that works. And or quality. Going back as your words or more content, backlinks are a lot. So in order to actually go after backlinks, do is it's like all of the backlinks that are competitors, and then just go backlinks for you, right? So that's kind of how it works in that sense. So that's pretty much it for this. So make a short, sweet, straight to the point. With this information I provided, and go with this information yourself. That's what I guys. Regardless of what you decide to, I really.